Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Joey, you're watching Vegas D-Tech. We're out here today at Silverado Ranch Park here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Got another Lake Mead. It's not really a report, it's more like an update. It's near the South Point Casino right behind me over here. Maria's actually working over there right now. She works in the sports book, or else she'd be out here with us enjoying this wonderful 95, 98 degree day. But anyways, guys, I got some updates and information for you. This report that I want to make for you today is I've been asking a lot of people, and a lot of people have been commenting to me, and basically they're under the impression that the Lake Mead water system has been restored, and that this wonderful rain that we've had and moisture and snowpack basically has saved Lake Mead, which I think that is very presumptuous. But I have some data, graphs to show you, and yes, the water has definitely come up. The water level today at Lake Mead is 1,048.70 feet, and it has come up almost 2 feet. But there's a reason why it's come up 2 feet, guys. It's up 2 feet for a reason. I'm going to tell you what it is. But first, I'm going to go ahead and send up the bird. I'm going to have her fly around here, give you guys a bird's eye perspective of what this park looks like and where we're at, and then we'll continue on with the report. Alrighty guys, so I got the bird ready to go, so let's go ahead and get her up there and get her flying around. Alright guys, so just the past 3 days, Lake Mead has been getting tons and tons of water. Actually, it's been getting billions of gallons of water being released from Lake Powell into Lake Mead. And there's a reason for that. We normally do not get water releases into Lake Mead up until the fall. So the reason why we're getting all of this extra water right now is because for the past 72 hours, an average of 39,000 cubic feet per second actually of water has been flowing from Powell being released into the Colorado. And the reason for that is because they are trying to utilize the extra resources of water that we have and the time frame, which is beneficial right now, to go ahead and restore the beaches and the sediments and the shoreline all up and down the Colorado corridor. They say that right now, you know, conditions are favorable for them to try this experiment, and that's what it is. They're just allowing all of this water to flow. They want to create a big torrent of water to help push the sediment back to restore the beaches. Now, this is making the numbers at Lake Mead look ridiculous. Today, I was looking at the graphic data chart, and the graphic data chart actually says we have gotten in today is 42,781 cubic feet per second. That is, guys, that is just an unprecedented amount of water that's coming in, but there's a reason for it. You know, Lake Powell has been going down because of all these water releases. So I'm going to give you a couple of numbers here, okay? So right now at Powell, the last 4 days, the water has gone down 0.20, 0.52, 0.54, and 0.25 inches, okay? Which is an average of 3 inches a day. The water has gone down. That's because they have been releasing all of this water into the Colorado corridor to push the sediment. So what the releases here are like 22,000. I remember the last report that I gave you, I said that one of the highest numbers that I've seen them getting in was 30,000 cubic feet per second. But today, in the past 4 days, they're averaging 22,000 cubic feet per second. So that immense flow is not what it was, but yet they're releasing 29,000, 38, 38, and 33. So as you can see, more, way more than what they're getting in, they're pushing out to do this this water experiment to push the sediment back. Now, on the other hand, Lake Mead has been getting in that 42,000, 23,000, 16,000, and 17,000 cubic feet per second, and they're outflowing 17.5, 17.8, 16.2, and 14.2. Okay guys, so there is a reason for why this water is coming in. Now, I'm not saying that this water year is not going to be a good one. I'm just saying that it's way too early for people to jump off the, jump on this bandwagon stating that they think that everything is saved, we're saved, and Lake Mead is going to be saved. Guys, look, I've been saying it and I've said it time and time again. One good wet water winter is not going to be good enough to restore all of the mismanagement of water that we have been abusing for the past 2 decades, So anyways, I found this report on ABC News where they have a water professor explain this in detail, what he sees and what he predicts moving forward, what this actually means with this water winter being as wet as it is. And are we over jumping the gun by saying that everything is over and that the worst is behind us and everything is beneficial? El Nino is coming, so we have no more water drought. I don't know. So anyways, guys, here's the report. Have a look at it, and when we're done, we'll come back and we'll talk more about this.
At this point, we made a lot of progress, especially on this water year specifically, but it is just temporary progress, and it's really important to remember that this is just one water year. We're not going to be able to refill the massive reservoirs that are Lake Mead and Lake Powell in just one wet winter. I mean, literally, Shasta is many times smaller than Lake Mead. Lake Mead is a huge reservoir. It can hold water for so many millions of people, and it is so very important to the Colorado River system. And so, we talked a few months ago, back in January or February, about the Colorado and the issues that it had. Well, now that we've had that wet winter, now that we've had all that rain, all that snow, we talked to an expert to see how things are going. Here's what he had to say.
Alrighty, folks. So what I was going to do is I was just going to go ahead and delete this footage off because for whatever reason, this professor here, the video had some kind of music playing around in the background, and the YouTube algorithm picked up on it and wanted to signal a copyright strike. And that was just ridiculous. And I thought, if I were to just cut this out, it would have made the video pointless. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and narrate. I wrote down everything and all the points that this professor was trying to say, and I'll just read it off to you. So anyways, the professor's name is Dr. Jack Schmidt. He's a professor and director at the Colorado River Studies at Utah State University. And he says that the reservoirs on the Colorado River systems are so vast that you would need 4 to 5 more years as large as the ones that happened this year to refill the system. And despite the stories and reports in the Sierras and in California where the reservoirs are refilling with just this year's rain, it would take many additional years to refill the Colorado systems because they are so large. The wet winters came at a very fortunate time, but it's a temporary reprieve. This year's wet conditions have given us more time to negotiate more thoughtful agreements. They also might lead people to say that we don't have a crisis at all. So will we take advantage of this wet year or ignore it and keep using up the water carelessly as we have been in the past 2 decades? Will we squander the supply and live on the edge of crisis again? That's what happened between 2008 through 2020. We had a big, huge drop in the water system in the first 8 years of the new millennium, and then we never fixed the problem. We gambled, lived on the edge, and hit another big drop. We can't do that again. Today's runoff since the year 2000, or a little more than 20 years, the natural runoff of the Colorado River system is 32% less than back in the 19-teens and 1920s, when the Water Compact was written. Everyone recognizes that consumptive use needs to decrease. Now, the debates and issues are that everyone looks at the other guys and says, yes, we have a problem, but you need to be the one to make the cuts. Going back more than 100 years, management has fallen to the 7 basin states in what is known as the law of the river, but so far California and the other basin states can't come to an agreement. If the states can't find an amicable solution, the federal government has threatened to step in, but even the federal government hasn't offered a solution themselves. So the Bureau of Reclamation has put forth 2 alternatives. One involves each state taking an even percentage cut for each state regardless of the water seniority rights. From the Golden State's perspective, California feels majority of the difficult cuts should be done by states with junior water rights like Arizona and Nevada. California has the most senior water rights and understandably does not want to give those up. All right, guys, so there you have it. A little bit from a professor that studies the water, and like he says, he does not believe that just one good winter is even close to what we need to say that we're out of the weeds. He says that we're going to need at least 5 good seasons just like this one to bring that water level up. Speaking of that water level, okay, the Water Authority believes that we will be going up 33 feet at Lake Mead and 44 feet at Powell. Guys, I don't know where they're getting this number. Those numbers don't even sound right at all. Understandably, maybe we won't see the 20-foot decline that they had anticipated at the end of last year. Okay, maybe we won't see that, and that's great. But they're saying that not only are we not going to see the 22 foot of decline, but that we're going to gain an additional 33.3 on top of that. So what are we looking at there? Like 53 feet of total differential between the water? That is a lot of water, guys. We're not going to know what's really happening with this water if we don't pay attention to it, okay? It's not good enough that we just watch the news to get 5 minutes of footage, you know, talking about the lake, and then, you know, we're clicking off to some other topic of the day. We need to have these reports. I try to put one together for you on a weekly basis so that you guys can actually see, along with me, what it is that I'm reading using data points and data graphs coming from the actual Lake Mead and Lake Powell websites. And by watching them on a daily basis, we can actually try our very best using those data and numbers to try to figure out where this water is coming from, why it's coming in, where it's going, and how long it's going to last. This is a step in the right direction, but will it continue? We don't know. Who knows these things, right? Mother Nature is the one that knows these things. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. Just another quick little update that I wanted to bring to you in discussion of why we're getting all of this extra water. Are we out of the woods? No, and by no means are we out of the woods. Is it a step? Is it a shoe in the right direction? Absolutely it is. And I'm happy as a Las Vegas native here to actually see some good news come out to the lake. So folks, anyways, if you guys found any of this information that I've given you today beneficial, useful, or even entertaining, please do me a kindness, guys, and hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and tap that notification bar if you like videos like this one. That way the YouTube algorithm would know to send my videos over to your homepage so you can see them just as soon as I get them uploaded, okay? So anyways, guys, thank you once again. This is Joey. You're watching Vegas D-Tech, and well, Maria's back over there working, and I know she'd like to be over here with us right now, but she'll be with us in our next video. You guys be well. I'll catch you guys in the next upload. Take it easy.